Oh, 947 innocent. So, I didn't really look it up because, like, I didn't want spoilers so much. But apparently, depending on which one you have the most of, you unlock the ending. But, also, I should save. I really should. And also, apparently from chapter 25, it gets important. So I have to save at chapter 25. And I hope I remember to save at chapter 25. Woof! That's a lot. Today, Sarah and I are going shopping together. I asked her if she wanted to join me as I plan on buying a new cell phone. New flip phone. Hopefully. I just broke my coaster. Damn it. Never mind. It wasn't because of Neil's comment about my phone still having buttons and looking like a fossil. Or maybe a little. Regardless, I decided it was a kind of time to upgrade to a smartphone, especially since Sarah keeps asking me to download this app so we can chat together. I figured she's the best person to take me on a phone shopping trip. Wow. Okay, I didn't realize you actually still had like a Motorola Razr or something. Electronics, cell phones, televisions. We enter the electronics store and I look around at all the phones on display. The price tags are pretty brutal. Yeah, no, it's bad. Which one do you have? I ask Sarah. Sarah walks toward the one that looks sleek and black. This one, the Imperium 6. Big, but still compact enough to fit in my pocket. This is a sponsored ad for Imperium 6 by Sarah. I don't know what I should pick. The price tag on Sarah's phone is $6.99, also euros, I'm assuming, and I would prefer not to spend so much on a simple phone. You don't. Sarah gets distracted by the camera lenses in the next aisle, and she gleefully hops over to check them out. Look at these lenses. I should really upgrade mine. I'd like a lower aperture for indoor photography. I pretend to know what Sarah means and nod my head, all the while looking for a much cheaper cell phone. The cell phone I'm holding is white with a $249 price tag, and I really do not know what the difference is with the one Sarah has. Perhaps you simply pay more for brand name. That could be yeah, now you pay more for amount of cameras on the back. Wish I could go too, Sarah says all of a sudden. Go where? I asked, looking up and seeing her head pop out over the shelf. Sarah walks back to where I am. The masquerade party, of course. Right! After I got that invitation from Neil, obviously I told Sarah about it, and she's been green with envy ever since. Want my invitation instead? That'll scare the crap out of Neil. It'll be hilarious. Can I? She says, super serious. The pictures that I could take. I'd love to photograph some of those costumes in the ballroom. I'm always tempted to let Sarah go my place. She seems way more eager about the idea than I am. Why don't you ask Neil if he can bring a date? That'll rub him up the wrong way. Sorry, I'm only going there in hopes of finding some clients, I say dejectedly. Neil is rich after all, and I'm sure he only mingles with rich people. I don't like to admit it, but he is right when he said it's a big opportunity for me. It could bump up my revenue. I know, I can still dream. Have you decided what to wear yet? Can't even decide on a cell phone, let alone my costume for a masquerade ball. No, but I guess I should be diligent and make something that wows people. I'd love to wow Neil, make him stand there looking speechless at my craftsmanship. Rivals, huh? I'm sure he'll make something beautiful, I have no doubt about that. I give Sarah a smile, she always seems to have my back. Is this like the Met Gala? Now, can we get back to why I came here in the first place? I still don't know which one to pick. Sarah laughs and then continues to look for a cell phone with me. She eventually convinces me to buy the white one I had in my hands before. It has a 5.5-inch screen, a front-facing camera, and does everything a smartphone should do. She bought my phone. It's my first smartphone, so Sarah helps me set everything up, downloading the app she thinks I would need, and explaining how to use the touch commands. After a while, I think I understand everything well enough, and Sarah and I part ways. cute house. Alright, you live above your store. When I'm home, I fiddle around with my new phone. Tailor network. Am I connected to the hospital? I'm entering my old contact information, copying the numbers and names from my previous phone. Even enter Neil's number, still listing him as His Majesty. To test it out, I send him a brief text on chat messaging app that Sarah downloaded for me. I'm unsure if Neil has it as well, but she assured me that most people own the same app. Why don't you text Sarah? Oh, I don't like this. Got a smartphone now. You can't complain it's a fossil anymore. I smirk at myself. Neil isn't the only one with a fancy phone. He probably has like an iPhone Roman numerals 2000. I don't know. It's something it's not the most expensive model that he probably has, but it's something. About 5 minutes later it vibrates and I check. I can only assume that this is Artocles, who doesn't feel the need to introduce herself in her first message to me. I should have the same number still. Did you delete my number? You dick. Probably. Yes, it's me. You're so smart for figuring that out. Want a pat on your back? A simple compliment will suffice. No. Good boy. Yeah. Good boy. I'm not a dog. Yes, you are. Not in a good way. You degrade the term for dogs. You could have fooled me. Wow, savage. Nice. He doesn't reply anymore after that. I'm a little disappointment. It's a lot more fun to rip someone when they reply back to you. Yeah, I guess. You're a troll. Nice. I guess I should start working on my costume for the masquerade ball. Probably. I don't know what month this is, but you need time. My dress is well on its way. The patterns have already been cut out. I just need to stitch it all together. Can't wait until Neil sees it. Speaking of Neil, he just entered my boutique. Oh, you gonna bark? I stand up straight, surprised to see him here. Neil? I question him. I was just... He looks around the place. Dropping by to see your progress. You mean my costume? Yes, why else would I be here? To move my mannequins around. You came to check out your competition. Neil sticks his nose up in the air. You cannot compete with my vastly superior Tailor. He's a huge name among very famous people. Cool. I sigh out loud. Did you come here just to brag? You could have simply done it through text. I point at my cell phone lying on the counter. Neil's eyes perk up a little as he sees the device. He walks over to inspect it. Stop touching my Is this your new phone? He picks up from the table without my permission. Model A5 Pixana. That's an outdated model. Yeah, well, I was using buttons, and it's 2020. My eyes glaze over as he rattles on regarding some technical info that I don't really care about. Why didn't you get the latest version? Because it costs more than a car. Because my pockets aren't lined with gold. Besides, I can call and text people. That's all I need. Alright, I almost forgot. You're quite poor. Kill him. My cheeks sting with blush. Why is he always the sauce star? Yeah, I'm poor. So what? Give me money. I'm gonna pickpocket you. I'm not poor. Yes, I am. You couldn't pay to replace my watch, though. Okay, no. Hello. Not being able to afford 6,000 euros for a watch does not make you poor, necessarily. That just, like, gives you some common sense that you don't want to buy a watch that expensive. I'm never gonna let this go. This bothers me so much. Yes, normal people don't just have 6,000 euros to drop at a moment's notice. I walk around the corner to stand in front of him. I don't have the time to listen to you calling me poor. If you're done mocking me, how about you leave? Neil rolls his eyes at me. I didn't come here to point out our differences in wealth. I came to see your costume. Well, now you're not allowed. Go away. I'm not letting you, answered Childish. Besides, it's not finished yet. Why don't you send a progress picture with snap pic, he asks. I'm not adding you on Snapchat, that's why. Ah, snap pic. I heard Sarah talking about that. She wanted me to use it so we could send pictures to each other. Don't quite understand the concept though. Snapchat. No. I don't have snap pic. I need to call and I need to text. That's all. Oh, it's a free app though. Anyone can get it. I'm not just gonna download apps because you tell me to. I just don't really know how to Okay, this is what you get for being an ancient demon. I don't blame you. I just don't really get how to install it. I can't figure it out, I say with a frustrated sigh. Take the phone out of Neil's hands and turn around, unlocking my phone and looking at the screen. A friend of mine wanted me to get it as well, but this is all very new to me. It's confusing. I'm very old. Smartphones are a mystery to me and I'm still learning the ropes. It's frustrating to be behind on technology like this. Yeah. Here, let me. No. Suddenly Niels appears behind me, his head hovering over my shoulder. Instinctively I freeze up at our proximity to each other. It's way too close. Great time to elbow him. His slender fingers reach out for the phone in my hands. He flicks his index finger across the screen, browsing through it. You've got to find it in the app shop first. Ah, yes, the app shop. Neil's breath is but a hair away from my ear. Do you always bring it down people's necks? I ask out loud. Neil swiftly pulls himself away from me, guilt and embarrassment flashing across his face for a brief second. I wasn't that close, he answers awkwardly as he fixes his tie. You were too close. Then he lowers his eyebrows at me. Angry. I'm just trying to help. You seem to be unable to navigate your own cell phone, and that even most children are capable of doing nowadays. Man, children can do things that I don't even know exist yet. Like, what the hell is hoverboarding? How do you hoverboard? I don't know. Children are just smarter. It's fine. Well, sorry, my parents didn't have a lot of money when I grew up, so I never really got the latest technology. And everyone grew up rich like you. That's fair. The both of us glare at each other, not saying a word. The tension between us has gotten thick and suffocating. Imagine as a customer comes in and just, is browsing and just hears these two people yelling about cell phones. Neil crosses his arms. As he finally breaks eye contact with me, he bashfully shuffles his feet on the spot, then stretches out his hand towards me. No, stop touching me. Yeah, let me just do it for you, then. No, then I'll never learn. I bow down my lip, staring at him for a couple of seconds, but I hand over my phone. Neil's fingers start tapping on the screen, something he seems quite familiar with. Wait a minute. He is done with whatever he's doing, and... Wow, I just messed up that sentence completely. I got distracted because I was thinking of how you used to have to press 7 4 times to get to S. I wonder if QWERTY keyboards confused the hell out of her also. There, you've got SnapPic installed. It will import your contacts from your phone, and you'll have to create a profile. Ah, well, that was fast. Thanks, I say, feeling a little hesitant. Girl, wait until you find out about food delivering apps. Neil is about to hand over my phone, but then his eyes flicker across the screen one last time. He cocks his head to the side. Who? Who's His Majesty? 3 guesses, Neil. If you guess correctly, I will give you a tissue. My eyes balled out. He's reading my contacts. Stop looking at my things. Ah, don't read that! I yell out and frantically reach for my phone. As I try to take my phone back, I end up bumping it out of Neil's hand and it falls to the floor. Damn it, screen's broken, need a new one. I quickly bend down to grab it off the floor, not realizing Neil has the same idea. Our foreheads painfully bump into each other. Ah! I yelp and quickly rush to stand up straight. Except I somehow managed to knock Neil's face again right against his chin, a sharp pain striking me through my entire head. I bow away in agony, whimpering and holding my head. It's like I hit it against a boulder. What is Neil's jaw made of? Diamonds, I guess. When I pry open one of my eyes, I see Neil standing in front of me, completely stupefied. Yes, we drew blood. Your nose, I shriek. He's bleeding.
Finally.
Neil hand reaches out to his lips where the blood is slowly inching across. He then widens his eyes and realizes he's bleeding from his nose.
Oh.
Ah, my nose! You know what I'm imagining? If you've never watched a Harry Potter musical, you really should. Because Lauren Lopez is the best Draco Malfoy that's ever existed. And this is just that whole like, oh, I think I'm bleeding. You know, it starts to panic. My beautiful face! I've never had a blood bleed before.
What?
What kind of rich privilege is that? Ah! Fuck you. Helplessly he stands there as his face starts to resemble a murder scene. No! Nosebleeds aren't that bad. They're really not that bad. Pinch it with your fingers, I say quickly, and keep your face down so it doesn't bleed into your throat. Oh, I do the opposite? Why do you care if you drink your own blood? Is that a bad thing? Oh. Ugh, my throat. Neil quickly pinches the bridge of his nose and looks down towards the ground. Now it's gonna drip on his white shirt, and then you've got another one you need to replace. Give me a second, I'll grab some tissues for you. Conveniently, they're right on the counter over there. I quickly disappear from the boutique and head into my workroom to find some paper tissues for Neil. Hello? Articles? When I get back, Neil is still standing there pinching his nose, not having moved an inch. It's kind of funny. Have you seen your own blood before, child? Here, I say and offer him a tissue. Clean your face, but don't stop pinching your nose. Neil takes the tissue from me and quickly wipes away the blood from his lips. He's still wearing that shocked expression on his face as if he truly doesn't know what to do. He looks frightened. Ah! Takes the bloody tissue from him and throws it into the trash. How long do I have to pinch? He asks impatiently. About 10 to 15 minutes, so don't be in a hurry to let go yet. Neil grows quiet, continuing to hold his nose whilst looking down at the floor. A few minutes pass as we stand in silence. Can't help but chuckle a little at the situation. Seeing Neil so helpless and frantic in front of me is golden. Makes me want to hurt him more. What are you laughing at? He asks, sounding so nasally. I mean, that doesn't really change how your voice sounds. Sorry, it's just a little funny. Is this really the first time you've had a nosebleed? And what of it? Is this common with you? Do you often excrete blood through your nostrils? I thought that was going somewhere else for a second. I was like, who, buddy? Did you not even pass biology and you work at a hospital? I don't know, not often, but everyone I know has gotten at least one when they were kids. And that's just when they were kids. It gets pretty warm around here, so, like, heat also makes your nose bleed. I recall the times I've had a nosebleed before in my life. It's kind of amazing Neil has managed to live through life without getting a single one. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Figures the first time I get one is because of you, he mumbles. I can give you other things to bleed from, if you want. How about a stab wound? What's that supposed to mean? Well, this is your fault, you know. Everything's my fault. All the time. It was an accident. It's not like I wanted to knock into you on purpose. You sure about that? You love breaking my things, after all. Yes, I do want to break your face. As much as I'd love to hit you, this time it wasn't intentional. Hostile. I mean, Neil's got a very punchable face sometimes, but I didn't try to hit him on purpose this time. Neil visibly recoils from me, eyes widening in shock. Ah, the poor are scrappy. Yes, we are. What? He gasps. I've contemplated your death, friend. Oh, nothing at all, I mutter. How about you stay away from my face from now on? I'll try, but you keep putting it near my vicinity. I ignore his warning and take a step towards Neil. Nonsense, let me see how your nose is doing. Back off, he says in a shrill voice, taking a step backwards. Fear me. Neil looks really distraught, so I can't help but grin and corner him against my counter. Oh. Not another step, he warns me. Just let me take a look. It's been long enough by now. Don't be a big baby. No, what if my brain falls? This man works at a hospital. I mean, I know he's not a doctor, but you work at a hospital. You probably pick up something. Surely. Watch Grey's Anatomy or something. I laugh. Are you sure you've got any brains left in the first place? Neil glares at me. Haha, it might be funny to you, but I'm the one bleeding. I promise it'll be okay. My hands reach out towards his nose. Snap it back in place. Neil surprisingly slumps his shoulder in defeat and let me remove that hands on his nose. His arms fall to his side and let go of his clammy hand. I study his face, seeing only a smidge of blood near his nostril still, but he's not bleeding anymore. How's it look? He asks nervously. I think we have to amputate. Surprised by Neil's vulnerable look, I can't help but stare at him. His guard is usually up and he's constantly arguing with me, but here he looks fragile and a little scared. You know, I start in a soft voice. My hand stretches out towards his face. Using my thumb, I press against his upper lip and wipe away the bloodstain. For someone who works at a hospital, you're surprisingly little about medical emergencies. Neil turns his head to the side, then pushes my hand away from his face. I'm not a licensed medical practitioner. There's no reason for me to know what to do with a nosebleed. Dude, it's common sense at this point. Well, Neil, it seems that the bleeding has stopped, so you can breathe a sigh of relief now that your brain hasn't fallen out. Chuckle at him. Neil's cheeks turn the slightest shade of pink. Oh, how cute. He's getting embarrassed. That's what he gets for calling me poor. Punched in the face is what he gets for being a dick. Don't patronize me, he barks. Woof woof. He slinks away from me in the counter and skips towards the exit. I'm leaving. Finally. Can't help but snort and wave at him. See you at the party. Be sure to take some tissues with you. Goodbye. Neil opens the door and dashes out of my boutique. I'm a little gleeful that I got to tease him like that. Feels good to bring him down a notch from his pompous attitude. Can't wait to rub it in his face when he sees my glorious masquerade dress. Honestly, I remember one time I got a nosebleed at school, and when I went into the bathrooms there were these older girls, I think it was grade 9 maybe, so they were like the matrix, and they were like, oh, do you have a nosebleed? And I'm like, yeah. So they gave me tissues, they were really nice. And then they came back like 5 minutes later like, I found a tampon for you, will you put it up your nose? And I was like, no. And they're like, please. And I'm like, no. And I still remember that. I don't know who they were. I've never met them before then. But you know. Myself, a dress for a masquerade. Ah, that's actually quite pretty, but I don't own any of these. So guess he's gonna be grinding. Fine. Okay. Well, see you on the other side, I guess. I'm gonna try and make masquerade dress